A Guns N' Roses Data East MPU here for repair today. I have installed a Simpsons ROM because it's much easier and it tests more of the circuitry than connecting up a DMD. So I'm on the lamp test right now, and you can see a problem here where column 8 is locked on. So let's see how we can figure out quickly what's going on there with column 8. Okay, so I have my logic probe, run-of-the-mill logic probe, and if I just touch the tab of each of the transistors, the column drive transistors, you can see they're pulsing, except when I get to this transistor. That pulse is just from me dragging it across the top of the transistor. And you can see somebody, well, I'm not sure. I was going to say that somebody had replaced that transistor in the past, but it looks like it's the same. Anyway, it is probable that that transistor has failed. So let's take it to the bench and replace it. Additional evidence of the failure is you can see that the solder joints on that transistor have gotten very hot compared to the original ones over here. And this is a little bit like holding chopsticks, but this tip 42C is definitely shorted. Back on the bench, and we're going to boot this Data East MPU. And you can see that column 8 is no longer locked on. So in total to this MPU, I have installed NVRAM. I replaced the power input header, which is at J17, and I replaced this 470 microfarad cap. That's the 5-volt filter cap on the way in. And then, of course, I replaced the tip 42, the one with the gold stripe on top of it. So let's test out the entire board. And again, I have Simpsons ROMs in here because the alphanumeric ROMs drive all of these connectors. The DMD ROMs only communicate to the DMD via this ribbon connector. So I view this as a better test in addition to being an easier test for me. So let's get into test. I do have my soundboard connected, so we'll be able to hear the sounds. Left speaker, and I have to use the simulated flipper buttons and then press this credit button. I don't know if you could hear that, but I could. So I did a little dipsy doodle there with the couple of the sounds because I had a difficult time stretching from my index finger to my pinky. Display test is good. Switch test, and Simpsons exercises all 64 switches. So what I am doing now is going across the diagonal of the switch matrix. And I mention it often, but all of these test aids, these green boards at the bottom, were developed by Mr. Victor, aka Dumbass, on Pinside. I remember the first post I saw of him. It was a great post, really technically correct. And I looked at his name and it said Dumbass, and I posted, "Why, you're not a dumbass at all." And I thought I was being funny. And now I've gotten to know him quite a bit better. Here's the lamp test. And good guy. Here's the column test. You can see column 8's working perfectly. Single lamp test. What's next? Flashers. Get my logic probe out of the way. While I'm here in the flashers, I'm going to show you the switch-driven special solenoid inputs working. And then we'll go to solenoids. And again, Data East and Williams games, not all of them, but the later ones, multiplexed the coils. So you'll see my very bright blue LED light up, and then a green LED, and then it'll go back to the red one. So we're out of the multiplex coils now, and into coils 9 through 16. And here are the CPU-driven special solenoids. The two bright orange lights are the flipper ground that goes through this gigantic relay. Gigantic in relative terms. We could do individual coils, but I'm going to skip that. And we are back to the beginning and rebooting. The only thing left to do is to take this board outside on a nice sunny day here in St. Louis and give it a little scrub down to make it look like it just came off the factory floor. And then I'll attach my tag. These tags, you can leave them on the board. They will not burn up. They will not cause a problem. This light cotton is, if it ever catches on fire, it just kind of goes poof and that's it. But there's nothing on this board that can create a fire that I hang the hang tag to. And the V with a circle around it means that I've made a video of this. I'm going to hang that hang tag right up here off of R4. Thanks for sending this board.